This broadcast is brought to you by...
Hi, thank you. No, thank you. Oof, that is quite a big crowd. Is this thing on? No, I'm just joshing you. Okay, so I'm making this video about anatomy, right? And it's all about hands and bodies and whatnot. And I'm thinking to myself, well, this video is going to be a handful. Okay, so what's the deal with that airline food? So what is the deal with that airline food? I don't know, but today we're going to talk about anatomy part 2. If you haven't seen the first part, it is not necessary whatsoever. It's kind of just me going into the basics of anatomy, and now I'm going to dive a bit more deeper into specific body parts. So without further ado, let's go! Okay, so we are at the drawing desk, and I'm going to show you what I created to depict the anatomy. Yes, I did not script this, obviously. Okay, so what we have here is this guy that I drew, and, you know, we can see him in all his little angles. It's just spinning. Just look at him go. Okay, good for him. Okay, so what we see here is that I have the outline of this guy, so we can kind of just look at the overall frame of his build. So I'm going to address, first and foremost, the muscles, because muscles are hard to draw, because there's too many of them. There's too many muscles, guys. Okay, so this is a male body here. Obviously, women have the same muscles as men, so this can apply to both genders, but yeah, let's see what we're looking at. We have the pecs here. I notice a common mistake that artists do is to kind of exaggerate the muscles and have them curved out a lot more. So for example, that would be like for the biceps or something like that. They would be, let's see, like that, which can work with really buff and bulky characters, but also it's like, it looks like they have water balloons implanted into their skin, which is not what we want. So what I wanted to emphasize here is how much they stick out, if that makes sense. So we can see as this kind of goes out, juts out, basically. It basically, oof. Dude, I need to script these. What am I saying? So we have the chest. We have it sticking out a bit more then to kind of emphasize a more bigger build with the muscles. So that's why it kind of curves like this. And if we weren't doing that, it'd be kind of more like this. And this would symbolize a more lean build. I think lean. Is that the word? Lean. I'm going to go with lean. Don't quote me on that though. But to kind of emphasize how much the pecs stick out, I have these little lines here. So if we don't do that, and they can look more flat like that, and then we can do like this, because the chest does have those like string muscles that kind of pull it out. So when you have it curved like this, it kind of emphasizes the fact that they are going out more instead of being straight like this. Very basic in the end, but when I'm looking at One Piece proportions specifically and kind of how the muscles are stylized, they're not very hyper specific. Like here, let's take this one of Zoro. One Piece Zoro shirtless. I cannot believe I'm searching that up. Okay, so we have this of Zoro here. Now this is fairly more detailed, you could say. It's like equivalent to kind of what I have. It doesn't really have these muscles here, but you know, that's fine. I don't think One Piece usually has those anyways. They kind of have these to make the abs look more prominent, which is what we're going to talk about now. Abs. A common mistake that I usually do is that you give it the old like tic-tac-toe method where you just go doop, 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 and boom, those are abs. So why doesn't that look good? I don't understand. It's an abs, that's what abs look like. But what I think kind of makes abs work is not showing every part of it, if that makes sense. Let's go here. When we have this picture of Zoro, they kind of just get the outside of it more than anything. And then that itself kind of just shows, hey, these are abs. It also saves you time with drawing, and for some reason, I don't know why, it just looks better. It just looks better. So we're gonna try to do abs like that. And okay, I'm not a teacher in any way. I know just as much as you do about anatomy. I took health science in grade 11. That is as far as my anatomy knowledge goes. So if there's a different method you use to getting the same outcome, please feel free to do that. There's a lot of really good stuff online. That's basically where I'm applying all this knowledge from. Just like a amalgamation of all the different stuff I've learned through different online YouTube videos. So I'll just preface right now, do not listen to this. If you think I'm saying something stupid, please ignore me, because I probably am. Okay, so for the legs, I guess the thighs specifically, I kind of just have them curving out, and I'm kind of just emphasizing the muscles by using these. Again, this just looks better than drawing the muscle like this, because it's all about subtlety in the end. Like, you don't want to be showing every single muscle, because A, that's a lot, and then B, it doesn't look natural, because the muscles are basically shown through shading, and this kind of emphasizes how this is sticking out, right? For the feet themselves, this is tricky, especially from this perspective. If I move this guy, then you can kind of see this part here, which is essentially a triangle, and then we got this part here, which is a square, and then if you have a more prominent heel, you're gonna want to have it jut out a bit more like that, but that's fine. And then for the toes themselves, I struggled on this quite a bit. Luckily with One Piece, majority of characters wear shoes except for Luffy.
Put those grippers away!
But what I kind of do is just do this, so we have that, and then we're going to do the lines themselves, something like that. I don't know, but yeah, and then to kind of emphasize their height, we'll just make them go upwards like that, so that can kind of show that these are feet and that they are not flat. Feet are very difficult. I'm definitely not the point I want to be where I'm drawing them. Same goes for hands. But I think as I just continue doing the daily character drawings and then just all this, I'll get better. And hopefully I can kind of just show that progress throughout these videos regardless. That hurt my neck. It's neck time. Okay, so for the neck itself, it can be quite simple when you get down to it. It's really just two lines. I guess the most important part is knowing where those two lines essentially go. Alright, and then for this 3/4 perspective, you can kind of see that the back of the neck kind of is in line with the end of the ear here. And the front of the neck is around here, so kind of where the chest starts at over there. And then yeah, as you kind of go around, you just see how the neck changes from the perspective. What I find really helpful, and I know some people may not agree with this, and that's fine, but 3D models, very, very helpful, or even just using poses in general. Like, even these guys are very, very helpful. I use them quite a bit to kind of just understand how joints work essentially and how to do different poses. They're limited in their movement. They can't do everything that humans can do, but you know, they're trying. They got their flaws, but you know, they're trying. Okay, so here's the neck. It kind of varies with the character's build. I find with a character that is more strong and, let's say, bulky, they'll have a wider jaw, like a wider chin here, and they'll also have a much wider neck. So if we go back to Zoro, we're talking a lot about Zoro today. Here we can see that the neck actually starts at the ends of his jaw over here, and then by here it's the ear, just because it's with a different perspective, it's not straight on, because that'll symbolize a more masculine build, you could say, and then it kind of just curves down like that somewhat. Alright, so now let's talk about the ears. One Piece's ears are pretty simple, I would say. They have this similar formation where they use kind of sharp lines to depict the ear, or it can be more curved. That can usually be used for more feminine characters or cutesy characters. Alright, let's see. Now we're going to talk about the thing that I've been dreading to talk about, because I don't know how to do it. It's hands. I think every artist struggles with it as well. That's okay. And yeah, what you can notice with hands is that they kind of curve up like this, and then that curve is reduced as it goes down. So with these joints, they're not as prominent, and then with here, that's almost flat. I'm in the very beginner stage of drawing hands. Like, doing this whole animation here, that took me a long time. There's this animation that I'll put up here right now. That one took me about 2 to 3 hours to do, just to figure out the whole hand formations, and even that I was using a bunch of reference photos, so it was not ideal to say the least. But yeah, this is kind of my building blocks for doing the hands. You kind of got the thumb here. As the hand closes in, and you can even see here, it's a bit wonky, it looks a bit off, but as the hand closes in, the the muscles and the skin kind of folds in. There we go. The whole point of this is for me to get better and to hopefully encourage others who want to do art to pursue it as well. So yeah, that's basically it. I feel like I had a lot more to say. Hey, editing this right now, I think it's funny that I say this because this video, when unedited, is an hour long of me just talking. So I think I did my fair share of yapping already. But I kind of want to do the thing where I show the stuff I already created and then kind of just be like, so this is how I got here to here. Because otherwise these videos would be very, very long, where it's like 3 hours of me just drawing an animation. That takes up a lot of storage on a computer. I will not do that. But I will create my stuff and then show it and then be like, hey, how can I fix this? Also, this is how I did it. Yeah, I don't know if that makes sense. But anyways, we're gonna go back to the other spot now. So yeah. Alright, editor note, I'm gonna, when I clap there, I want you to transition back to the... I hope that transition looks pretty cool. Okay, so we made it to the end of the video once again. Thank you very much for sticking around for this. That is very kind of you. Let me know how this whole system of recording works. If I should change the way I'm making these videos, please let me know. But yeah, it is autumn or fall as I'm recording this, so happy autumn/fall! Yay! Okay, but yeah, I will talk to you all later, so have a good one, bud.